All right, today we're diving deep inside the human body to witness one of its most intense and, frankly, terrifying battles, anaphylaxis. And I want you to forget everything you think you know about a simple allergic reaction, because this is the immune system going to red alert.
So, have you ever actually wondered what is really going on in there during a severe allergic reaction? I mean, it is so much more than just a rash or a few sniffles. It's a crazy fast, body-wide chain reaction that can turn deadly in just minutes. So let's start at the end with the terrifying results.
So these are the big, scary end results that we can actually see. A huge, catastrophic drop in blood pressure. The airway literally closing up, making it impossible to breathe, and even your blood starting to clot where it absolutely shouldn't be. But you gotta understand, these are just the symptoms of a much deeper, microscopic war going on inside.
Okay, so to understand how we even get to that point, we need to meet the key players. These are the special forces of the immune system, the body's frontline sentinels.
Meet the basophils and mast cells. Now, I want you to think of these guys as the body's highly trained soldiers, and they're stationed all throughout your tissues. Their whole job is to carry these tiny little packets, these granules, that are packed full of powerful chemical weapons. They're just waiting for the signal to attack a very specific invader, what scientists call an antigen, which in this case could be something as harmless as a tiny piece of a peanut.
So these cells have two settings, basically, on and off. On the left, you see them when they're just chilling in their dormant state. Those chemical weapons are safely locked away inside. But these cells are also armed. They're covered in these antibodies that act like tiny preset tripwires. And when that one specific antigen they're looking for, like that peanut protein, comes along and locks onto those tripwires, bam! The cell is instantly activated and ready to unleash total chaos.
And that brings us to the single most critical moment in this entire process. It's basically a biological explosion, and it has a very specific name.
And that word is degranulation. You gotta remember this one. This is the mechanism, the one event that turns a small, local defense into a body-wide crisis. It is the point of no return.
And this shows you just how unbelievably fast this all happens. First, the antigen shows up. Instantly, the activated mast cells literally throw their internal granules outside of the cell. I mean, think of them as tiny grenades just being launched everywhere. And then those grenades burst open, releasing their entire chemical payload, these mediators, all over your tissues and into your bloodstream.
But here's the thing, the release of those chemicals isn't the end of the story. No way. It's just a beginning. This one event kicks off a massive chemical storm that throws the entire body into absolute chaos.
And we're not talking about one or two little chemicals here. The body is suddenly and simultaneously flooded with a whole cocktail of incredibly powerful biological agents, all at the exact same time.
And this is the chemical cocktail that gets released. You've probably heard of histamine, right? That's why we take antihistamines for mild allergies. But in anaphylaxis, it's joined by this whole crew of other really potent agents, like leukotrienes and cytokines. Now, you don't need to memorize every name on this list. What's so important is their combined effect. Altogether, they are responsible for every single one of those life-threatening symptoms we saw at the beginning. They make your blood vessels leak, they make your blood pressure plummet, and they make your airways squeeze shut. It is a complete and total system overload.
So, with the body basically in a state of self-inflicted chemical warfare, how in the world do you stop it? Well, this is where the hero of our story arrives. There is a vital off switch, and it comes in the form of a single, powerful drug.
You know, this quote really gets to the heart of why this drug is so amazing. It says that epinephrine stops the process of mast cell degranulation. Just think about that for a second. It's not just managing the symptoms. It is going straight to the source and shutting down the entire catastrophic chain reaction.
And its strategy is just brilliant. It's a two-pronged attack. First, it slams on the emergency brake. It tells the mast cells to stop degranulating, which keeps the problem from getting any worse. And at the exact same time, it starts on cleanup duty, working to reverse the dangerous effects of all those chemicals that are already wreaking havoc in the body. It is a lifesaver because it fights the battle on both fronts at once.
So we've seen this whole explosive process and the off switch that can stop it in its tracks. But it leaves us with one last really crucial question, doesn't it? Why does the immune system's on switch become so dangerously sensitive to something completely harmless in the first place? And that, right there, that's the core mystery of allergies.